Let's look at the math of being over 40 in 2026. Between persistent inflation and a retirement timeline that feels increasingly out of reach, a single income stream is rarely enough to comfortably close the gap. The objective here is highly specific and achievable, generating an extra $500 a month to create real financial breathing room. If you search online for ways to do this, the standard advice usually tells you to learn how to code, build a personal brand, or launch a complex online business. If you already have a demanding full-time job and family obligations, that advice is practically useless. Your time and energy are strictly limited. The most viable solution isn't to build an entirely new skill set from scratch, but to leverage the assets you already possess. Right now, the modern side income landscape breaks down into 7 broad paths: delivery driving, freelancing, selling physical items, renting space, online tutoring, local physical services, and taking surveys. This graphic lists the 7 paths. For a beginner starting today, we must cross off number 2, freelance, and number 5, tutoring. Both require specialized prior knowledge or an existing professional network to land paying clients. That leaves us with 5 legitimate, zero-skill options. To figure out which one works for you, we're going to evaluate them against 2 strict metrics: setup speed versus monthly earning potential. Because you aren't bringing specialized skills to the market, generating extra money is a direct trade-off between velocity, how fast the cash hits your bank account, and sustainability, how long that income actually lasts. This chart maps the trade-off. The horizontal axis measures setup speed, weeks to immediate. The vertical axis is monthly earning potential, $50 to $1,500. Starting on the far right, we have selling assets on Facebook Marketplace or eBay. The required input for this path is minimal. You can walk through your house, identify 10 items you haven't used in a year, and list them this weekend. The operational limit is that this income is strictly finite. Once your closets are empty, the revenue drops to zero, unless you commit to retail arbitrage, buying cheap items to flip online. Dropping to the bottom right of the chart, we find the second high-speed option: online surveys through platforms like respondent.io. Market research companies actively seek out the over 40 demographic. Approval is fast, and the work requires absolutely zero physical effort. Connecting these data points reveals the reality of this bottom right quadrant. The absolute fastest ways to generate cash come with a hard ceiling. They are excellent for quick injections of money, but they will never act as a permanent income stream. Looking at the dead center of our matrix, we find the gig economy's most popular offering: delivery driving through apps like DoorDash or Instacart. Despite the abs, you cannot start delivering the moment you download the app. You need to account for a 1-week buffer to pass background checks and get formally approved. To actually hit that $500 monthly goal, you need to dedicate 10 to 15 hours of your free evenings or weekends every single week. You also have to factor in the hidden costs eating into your gross hourly rate, like fuel and gas, routine mechanical wear and tear, and vehicle depreciation. Delivery driving is highly reliable, but it is a direct swap of time for money. The only way to scale your income is to sacrifice more of your free time. Now let's look at the upper left quadrant. These are the paths that offer the highest monthly return, but demand the longest setup time and the most initial friction. First is local services, like lawn care or handyman work. The hourly rates here are strong, often $25 to $75 an hour, but you are trading physical exertion for that premium. It also takes weeks of completing initial, lower-paying tasks and building word-of-mouth referrals before establishing a reliable client base. Sitting at the absolute peak of the earning axis, we have renting out space via Airbnb or Neighbor.com. The requirement here is strictly material. You must own property or have a spare room, an empty driveway, or a large garage. While the income is nearly passive, the trade-off is significant. You are accepting liability risks and a loss of personal privacy in your own home. The fundamental rule of this high-yield quadrant is now clear. If you want to create a sustainable, recurring income stream without specialized skills, you have to sacrifice either your physical energy or your personal territory. There is no objectively perfect side hustle. The right choice depends entirely on a personal audit of your current life constraints and surpluses. This decision flowchart helps you choose based on your surplus: stuff, space, or time. Asset-rich optimizers with zero free time should sell clutter or rent space. Time-rich pragmatists needing fast cash should choose delivery driving or surveys, accepting lower financial ceilings. If you want maximum revenue and have the physical energy to spare, you are a hands-on hustler. Your move is to commit to local services and push through the initial grind to build a client base. Analysis paralysis is the only guaranteed way to keep your extra income at zero. Pick one matching path, download the app today,